Good afternoon. Omar, billionaire. George, how are we doing, guys? The hairdresser, what's that say? The hairdresser. The hairdresser Den, how are we doing? Andrew, good afternoon. Happy Monday, team. Let's see what we can do today. See what we can do. So, how was my weekend? It was uh, actually it was really good. I had a day trading course that we had with in London. Uh, Real big success. Everyone had a great time. Lots of new traders. Great feedback. So it was good. Missed all the nice weather though. That was the only downside. Roberto, how we doing? Tazim, Vico, Vico C, is it? Vida Tanik, how we doing? Guys on YouTube, just let me know you're in. Hey guys. Okay, so. If you are new to this live stream, just let me know. If you're new to this live stream, just put a 1 in the chat. And if you've been here before, put a 2. What is my technique? It is price action. No smart money concepts. No fair value gaps. None of that talk. Okay? I don't do it. It's not that I don't agree with it. I just don't do it. Okay? John Krasas. Sorry, my eyes are bad. Welcome to this. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so markets I look at gold, NASDAQ, DAX. Okay, they're the three markets I look at. I don't look at anything else. I only look at price action. Now, listen, guys, you can say whatever you want, but if I see talk that is not complimentary or good to fellow people that are tuning into this, you will be blocked. Okay. This is a stream where if you don't like what you see, just don't be here, okay? It's that simple. Anyone that's going to be here, if you're going to post comments, it has to be for the benefit of other live stream viewers. Hey Gandalf, hey Vic, how you doing? Okay, so everyone, please just know that this place is a place where we are all trying to achieve the same goal, okay? Uh, some of us have been doing it a lot longer than others. Some of us are brand new to it. Okay, I've been in this space since 2009. I've seen a lot of the industry. What are you waiting for at the moment? I will explain. I'm just giving some house rules before we get going. Okay, guys. So I don't talk about smart money concepts. I don't talk about ICT. I don't talk about fair value gaps. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I will look at and why I'm looking at it, and then hopefully we can get a setup. So, DAX. Okay, first thing that's interesting here is we've seen a break of structure. We've seen a close below, and then right now, the last what, 1, 2, 3 candles have been inside this previous bearish strong candle here. So I'm looking at this as like a pause in momentum before we continue lower. If we break higher, fine, I'll look to take advantage of that too. So as we look at this, what I'm looking for is clean candle space. Clean candle space means I'm looking to sell below 23967, 23967. Okay, I'm looking to sell below there. This is the 30-minute time frame. Okay, um, I will look to buy on a close above 24065. Buys above 24065. I'll have a look at news and everything in a minute. But in theory, right, this is what I call my no trade zone. So I don't want to trade in that area. There's nothing for me to get excited about. Maybe let me have a look at the 15. If you want to be aggressive, if you get a close above this area, you could do that, but I'm going to wait for a close above here. Okay, that's going to be my preference. I just dropped down to the 15-minute time frame there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm just going to set my alert because I am more bearish on this today than bullish. So I've just set an alert should price go below that point. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for here. This is spot market. Okay, all right, let's take a look at gold. We're going to go to the daily. The daily. What do you see on the daily, guys? What do you see on the daily? Do you see trend? Do you see range? What do you see? Indecision? Tell me what you see, guys. You see bearish? Okay. Friday's candle was bearish. Look, so if we want to really hone it down, Friday's candle was bearish and closed below previous daily support. Look what we've done today. We filled the wick. We filled that wick. So now, realistically, the way that I look at this based on price action is we need to break these lows to continue lower. Because price has come down, it's filled the range of the previous, and that's exactly where buyers came in. If you look, and it started the next impulse higher up to the top of the range. This is a daily chart on gold. So let's go to the 4 hour. So what do we see on the 4 hour? Let's zoom it out a little bit. Okay, so you can see the structure that we're looking at there is just going to drop down, and you can see support is coming here, and the market has found a base, and we started to rally. We've sold off a little bit, but now where we currently sit is it's of no interest to me. It's of no interest. So I need to find an area where I can look to trade from. I want to find somewhere that is going to interest me, and I'm looking for what I call clean range. Clean range would be when you get on a motorway at night and there's no traffic there, you can literally just put your foot down and you can just go quick, right? Because there's no traffic. So what would that look like? That would look like these momentum candles here, or these momentum candles over here, the big bearish ones. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, on that basis, and Ivek, we're looking to then try and identify, right, where's the best place to be looking for a sell, or where's the best place to be looking for a buy? So I'm just going to leave this off right now. So if I wanted to put in a 4 hour area to buy above it, be here because I can see clean traffic there. Okay. Don't have the cleanest resistance here based off the 4 hour, but I know when I drop down a time frame, we're going to see something here that we can trade above. Okay. So let's go down to the hourly. So looking at the hourly, we can see our support is still held in the same here. Our support is still held the same. Now, let's just bring this down. Now, if I was to put this here, right, we can see resistance is being formed here. But we also have resistance just slightly higher and to the left here, where the market's tested that. So if I want to give myself the best opportunity for a buy trade here, if we get above the level, it's going to be above here. I'm just going to drop to the 30 and check. Now, you're going to ask why I didn't look at a trade here. And I'll tell you, because this candle's closed below and it didn't close back above. So let me just put this in first. So buys above 32998. 3298. Okay, done. And then we next bit of structure we have is not all the way until we get up here to 3320. So that's like $22 or 220 pips. So a lot of pips to take advantage of. Now, we look at support. Where do we want to sell? Well, we can see that the support level is down here, but we also have one here. We also have one here that's newly formed support after breaking these lows. Now, going down to 15, you can see the support was formed. We come back. To me, it's just looking a little bit clunky. So I'm going to go back to the 30. If I want to be a seller, I'm going to say I want to be a seller below here. I want to close below there. Why? Because if I measure from 327, call it 3274, down to the next support zone, we've got 100 pips. So let's drop in support level here. I hope we can share with each other. What do you want to share? Okay, so I'm going to look for cells below here. Cells below, oh, cells below. Cells below 3273.8. Okay, let's put that down there. How are we doing, guys? Yeah, a lot of new people coming in today that I'm not familiar with, so welcome. Couple of house rules I mentioned earlier, which is I don't talk about ICT, I don't talk about fair value gaps, because I just get bombarded with stuff that I don't talk about, and I won't give you a straight answer because it's not something I do. Okay, so might as well squash that one before it starts coming up. Um, right, let's have a look, see what we have in the way of news today. I've not really looked at the charts much. Mondays are a strange day. Okay, we've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So no news for me today. Obviously German prelim CPI came in at below expectations. Came in at flat zeros. Expectation was zero point 0.2. So that's probably why we're seeing a negative move on the DAX today. 3288. There's 50 pips there, so it could work. All right, higher time frame, hourly could potentially work, but you've got to wait until we get till 2 o'clock. So again, a lot can change in the next 50 minutes. So I'm not going to look at a potential setup here on the hourly because the hourly's only just started. Uh, Vida to Nick, GJ. Right. So let me just put in no news here. No news. Let me just put in the ranges so we know what we're working with. We got what 22, so that's 220 pip range. 220 pip range. Down here we had 100 pip, so let's just copy that one, bring that down, and we can have a look here. Yasmin, nicely done. Thank you. Right, what we got? Um, Change your mind. Good afternoon. Yasmin, good afternoon. Joseph Davidson, good afternoon. SM75, how are we doing? And if you are new here, guys, I do run a live stream at 1 o'clock most days now. Yeah, I am quite new to this. I think this is my third or fourth week. I'm kind of losing track now. But yeah, I will be live on TikTok and YouTube every day at 1 o'clock, or at least 4 out of the 5 days anyway. So if you wanna see the live events, just tune in and Crazy Trader, love the name. Ah, right. Okay, so nothing's really materializing at the minute. Um, the green zone on the DAX is a no trade zone. I am looking at this from a bearish point of view. My bias is to the downside. Just based off the shorter time frames, if we were to take a look at like the structure and how the structure's changed, what can we see? So if we go, you can see a high here, we've got a higher high here, we've got a low here, and you can see those lows have progressively been getting higher. So if we look here, we had a break and a close below. Then we look at this one, we've had a break and a close below, and the market is now static here. So any move below this, and I think we'll run straight down towards 23,832. What's firm trade? What's firm trade? Give me a clue. John Krasness, what do you mean, mate? Oh, what? Top Step? No, I don't. The only the only prop firm that I recommend is Instant FX Capital. They're you've got no challengers. Um, they are very, very flexible in terms of the way that you can trade them. They're a bit like trading your own personal account, except just on a bigger margin scale. Because basically, if you look at it, you don't have to worry about daily, you don't have to worry about profit consistency, you don't have to worry about daily drawdown limits, you don't have to worry about hedging, you don't have to worry about putting a stop loss in, even though you should do. They don't do that. The only thing you cannot do there is arbitrage. So it's like trading your own account. So if you know you can stick within certain parameters, then literally just go and get yourself an account with Instant FX. They're the best. I know they pay out because they've paid out a lot of my members. Um, yeah, members have done well with them. So that's what I'd say. Uh, let's have a look at the NASDAQ. Hmm. Now look, I can tell you right now, just by looking at the hourly on the NASDAQ, I don't like it. There's nothing here for me at all. So just look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and particularly the last three here. The last three candles here, all inside this first one. Every candle has got big wicks to the upside, big wicks to the downside, and small bodies. So small bodies, what did that tell you? It tells you no one's in control. It tells you there's no momentum. Wicks to the upside and downside tells you there's a bit of volatility, but no direction. Peanut, good afternoon. I hope you're not getting too burnt in this fabulous British weather. Um, I need to get out and make some phone calls and have a walk. I think that's what I'm going to do after the live stream. Any single men in the chat? Jesse, look at you coming in here and trying to pick up some single men. Naughty, naughty. Do you not trade, Jesse? Um, listen, all the single men in here are working out how to make as much money as possible right now. And the best way we can do that is by being disciplined. Can't be led astray. Got to stay focused to the goal, guys. Got to stay focused to the goal. We coining this. I think she's looking for a single trader. I I don't blame her. Why not? Um, okay, guys. So my one of my traders has just sent out a trade alert. I don't trade it. He's looking to sell pound yen. Okay. Now just remember, guys, everything we do here is for educational purposes. Meaning that I'm just showing you what I do on a daily basis. And the reason I do this is so you can see exactly what I do. You can see the processes I put in place. And more importantly, you can see that things don't change on a daily basis. So what tends to go wrong for new traders, retail traders, is they get a little bit excited, dopamine rushes, um, listening to stuff that they see on social media, and they will then just act based on thoughts and emotions as opposed to a process. So look, what I can tell you is if I was going to trade the Nasdaq, even though this market right now, I can't tell you, one of the systems I would think about would be a BPC, but only if it has some solid momentum candles pulling back. The only thing I can tell you right now that I would look at is if we got a close below here, I'd look at sells. Sells below 22,617. 22,617. Now there's no major news here. And again, what I would expect to see happen is see this little gap here where the market opened. I'd expect that gap to get filled. Now, whether it gets filled today, tomorrow, next week, whatever, gaps will always be filled. Question is when. Okay, so I think the chart that's going to set up for us, unless this closes like this in the next 42 minutes, we're going to get a BPC trade on gold, but we might get a breakout on DAX, which is going to be my preference. Um, okay, so question for you in here, traders. How many of you have a set of rules that you follow when it comes to trading? How many of you have, damn it. How many you have? If you have a set of rules, just type in yes, please. Or type in yes, not yes, please. Don't see many yeses coming in. Okay, Omar does. Good man. Okay, so the minute you have a set of rules, you're gonna. I'm new, so I'm looking to get my own strategy and rules. Nice, SM75. Nice. So the best thing I can say to you is have a scroll around, see what you think, see who you resonate with, and also see what's happening. What in terms of are they live trading or are they just gonna say hindsight, I would buy above here because of X, Y, and Z. Well, we can all say in hindsight we'd buy above here because we can see the market moves. Question is, what do they do in live circumstances? So I'll give you exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I wouldn't say follow it. I'd say follow what I do for a period of time, and then you go, do you know what? He loses more than he wins, or he wins more than he loses, or he makes sense. I understand what he's saying. So I'd like to subscribe and follow his live streams, or I'd like to become a member, that kind of thing. Um, don't just jump in head first because there's too many guys or women out there that are just selling signals and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful, wacky stuff. Just be very, very careful. And on another note, guys, I will never ever message anyone directly. So over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of messages coming from what people think is me. It's not me. If you message me, I will reply, but I will never directly message you. Okay, so just remember that I'll never directly message you. If you message me, I will reply, but I will never reach out to you. So just be careful. All right, let's see. Okay, 9 minutes. Okay, there is potential. 87. Potential for buys above here as well, actually. What questions have we got? I'm new. Okay, no, it's just coming in. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Mr. Stanley, good afternoon, sir. Not seen you for a bit. What time frame do I use? I use anything from I start top-down analysis. I start the higher time frames and work down, and entries will always be placed on the H1, the M30, or the M15. Okay, so I don't like to go any lower than the M15. It's just personal preference. Number of trades, anything from 1 to 3 in a session. Have I been trading a long time? Well, I never used to have any grade, put it that way, when I started. I started in 2009 when I was 30. So you can do the maths. Mate, been well busy. The wars. Oh, the wars have made your work go nuts. Oh, bloody hell. I suppose that's a good thing from a selfish point of view for you, Peter. Um, is that mainly, I was going to say, is that mainly down at the dockyard? Um, Good afternoon, guys. I can see lots of new followers coming in, so welcome to the stream. Welcome, thank you. Look, guys, you're not going to get loads of trades here. I promise you that. What you will get is 1 or 2 trades in a session, sometimes none, but you will see a methodical set of rules used in order to place a trade and the thought process behind it. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to make sure everything that we do has a solid, thorough process in place. You don't want to jump at the charts and then literally you're rushing, you're thinking, oh my God, right, the market's moving, I must buy, I must sell. As soon as you do that, you're going to create mistakes. You're going to risk too much. You're going to buy the wrong market. You're going to sell the wrong market. You're just going to do weird, wonderful, and wacky things because we're rushing. And guess what? Our eyes do play tricks on us. We will think we've seen a buy setup or a sell setup, and then guess what? You place it, and next thing you know, there was no buy setup, and now you sat in a trade going, "Oh my God, how do I get out of this one?" So, um, while we're waiting, I'm potentially, like I said, we'll see what happens. We've got 6 minutes. Potential. I'm gonna put potential buys above 32.87.9. All right, guys. When it comes to trading, what do you think is your biggest hurdle, your toughest obstacle that you need to overcome in order to become consistent? What do you think is your biggest hurdle? Hmm. Right, let me get a bit of music on, because oh, uh, right. Um, 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Uh, oh, uh, Peanut, is that you that's just sent me an email? I'm just going to reply to it now. I've just replied to it, buddy. Thank you. Um, Pastor, good afternoon. Right, let me come back to the questions. Staying confident in the trade, not exiting early. Cam can. Okay, good one. So my challenge is patience. My entry points is my biggest challenge. You living from trading? Yeah, I overtrade. Okay, so some good answers. Okay, so let me come to the first one. Um, okay, analyzing the charts correctly. So analyzing the charts, I mean, look, you're going to see loads of different ways to analyze the charts. You'll see people do it differently to me. You'll see people do it differently to whoever else. It comes down to doing something consistently, and when you get results, that gives you belief, and then when you get belief, you're going to take more action. So why do I do live streams, right? I do live streams so you can see what I do. You can see how I do it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and that will then give you belief that it can be done. And if you believe that it can be done, you're going to take action. And that action might be just replicating what I do. It might be taking some of what I do and implementing it into your strategies or your beliefs. Or it might be mean you join up my membership. So analyzing the chart, don't worry about that too much because analyzing the chart will come down to creating you'll analyze it based on strategies when you've got strategies. Patience. Okay, so if your biggest challenge is patience, all you need to think about is what is your goal? If your goal is to buy your mum a house, if your goal is to make sure your daughter can go through university and you can get her set up, if your goal is to go and live in the Caribbean on a super yacht, whatever it is, it whatever your goals are, every time you're about to place a trade, ask yourself the question, is this trade going to get me closer or further away from my goal? If you don't have a goal, then guess what? It makes no odds. You can ask yourself that question. You're just going to keep over trading. So maybe the patience or the over trading, you will be answered in the same way. Okay, you need goals, you need clarity, and once you've got goals and clarity, then you can be specific with your actions. Staying confident in the trade. Okay, so Cam, you're gonna get confident in a trade by setting, let's say, let's say you set targets, multiple targets. Let's say you set two targets, one at 10 pips and one at 50 pips. What I would say to you is instead of doing two targets, just set one at 10 pips and exit the whole position. Then look at your results, a bit like you would do if you were doing clinical trials and you look at see how people have reacted when they've taken drugs. The difference is what you're doing is you're looking at your results from live trading. If you go, right, wow, I've taken 10 trades and those 10 trades, 9 have won and one was a break even. Then I go, hold on a second, you're onto something. Let's do another 10 trades, see what happens. And if the results are the same, then what I'd be saying is, right, well, the 10 trades that got to 10 pips, what happened after the 10 pips? Did they go 20 pips? Did they go 30 pips? Or did they go like 12 and then just come back and would have stopped you out? So this is where you're going to start managing your trades slightly differently based on the results testing that you've done. And this is what we call forward testing, not back testing. Back testing is just to find out if something in principle works. Forward testing is where you're doing something live in live market conditions with live money, and you can then see how you react. You see, anyone can make back tests work. Anyone can make back tests work. What you can't make work is forward tests. Forward tests are what you do under live conditions. So think of it as a medical research, right? The best scientists in the world can, in theory, create a drug that's going to get rid of X, Y, and Z. But then what happens is they give it to one patient, it has one reaction. They give it to another patient, it has another reaction. That's why they do clinical tests. This is forward testing. That's where you're going to get your results from. Okay, so Cam, what I'd say to you is make sure you trade with a small lot size and you get you take money off instantly at all off at a certain price, whether it's 10 pips, 20 pips, whatever. I'll let you choose that. Then you'll build up confidence based on the results that you've got. So remember, there's only one person that can build your confidence, and there's only one person that can take it away, and that's you. I will not be able to build your confidence. I can tell you all the things that you want to hear, but it won't make you a better trader. It won't make you believe in it more. I can make you a better trader, but you won't believe it until you start doing the results. Okay. Um, Entry points is my biggest challenge. Okay, entry points. Well, entry points shouldn't be a challenge if you've got rules. And the rules will have been tested in back test, see if it works in principle, and then forward tested. Okay, so Pastor, think about if your entry points are wrong, is it because you're just buying and selling when you feel like it? Um, am I living from trading? Yeah, that's all I do. I overtrade. Okay, overtrade, go back to what I said earlier, I think when it was Cam Cam. Create some rules, goals, and then understand why you're taking the trades. Are you going, is it taking you one step closer to your goals or is it taking you one step further away from your goals? Peanut, okay, my biggest challenge to becoming profitable is patience and good trading capital. Okay, don't worry about good trading capital, focus on the process. Don't worry about patience, focus on the process. If you can find one good trade a day, where are you seeing the messages? Should I be in a group chat? No, because I'm running on two different live streams. So I've got YouTube and I've got TikTok. So I'm getting different questions coming in from different sides. Yes, I don't think you don't think you're going crazy, Peter. I've got questions coming in on TikTok. Um, okay. Yeah. So if you can make £5, so this is Billy GH. If you're if you're thinking about trading capital, right? And I've just done this with the guys on the course this weekend, right? If you can make $5 a day, no, 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 it's okay, Peter. It's probably better to be on YouTube in terms of the visualization of the charts. Well, I'm just waiting for this to break. That's all I'm waiting for. So I can answer the questions while we're waiting for it to break. Um, if you can make £5 a day or $5 a day, then you can make $10. Then you can make $20 because it all comes down to the risk you're placing in the market. Now, just remember, you're not going to go into a gym and pick up a heavy weight if you've not been into the gym before. You're going to start with light weights and then you're going to do repetitions. You're going to do multiple sets. And then over a period of time, you're going to get stronger. You're going to get fitter. What do you do with the weight? The weight increases. Same as trading. Start with a small capital, start with a small lot size, become good, see the results, grow your confidence, increase the lot size, and then guess what happens? Go to prop accounts, go to Instant FX Capital, get a new account opened, go Binance Crypto Trend. Okay. These are things that you want to do, right? Build up your capital based on results. Okay. Don't just worry about them. And once you've got a process in place, you'll be amazed at what can happen. I do have good analyzing skills, but because of my impatience and low capital, I jump into a trade. So, Billy, that will change once you do the things that I just said. Every time I enter, it goes the other way. Davidix, um, so if you enter a sell trade, just let me know. I'll buy. That could be a good strategy, and whatever we make, we'll double it, right? Um, Live creator, live creator. Where do you usually put your stop loss, or is that based on how much you are willing to risk? Uh, all tide or altide, my stop loss will be dependent on the candles that give me the setup. Okay, so my problem is greed. Well, the good thing is you recognize it. The next thing is create a solution around it. Because greed in this industry is just going to burn your account. I always want more after hitting my target. Don't we all? But look, don't worry about getting more. Just focus on the right. Okay, let's see. So we could be getting a gold setup and we could be, oh, I've got 10 minutes for gold. Yeah. Now, what is your opinion on gold? It depends, right? So if I get a close above here, hey Tiff, how you doing, darling? Welcome to the membership, by the way. I don't know if Dad's told you. Your dad said he's gonna bring you in. So yeah, I'm looking for a close above on here, and then I'll be waiting for a pull down, and then I'll buy the highs. The DAX, the DAX is my preferred trade. So if the DAX can break these lows, I want to sell the DAX. The DAX is my preferred trade today. But we can't choose what the market does. We can only choose the trade that sets us up. I'm £96 today, and my target is 100 a day. Now I want more, looking for an extra £4. Listen, right, you're £96 up for today, right? Are you really going to search for £4, or are you going to wait for a setup? So gold, yeah, if I get a close above here, I'll buy it. DAX, if I get a close below here, I'll sell it. Got 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Yeah, so Tiff, I'll send you some links on Telegram and just request access, and then I'll add you into the channels afterwards. Gold looks like buys. Uh, it does if it breaks the level. For me, anyway. Follow Andrew McGee. How we doing? Yeah. Okay, we've got King David. Good afternoon. Right. Who likes gold buys? Who likes DAX sells? Who likes both? Callum, I like both. Lovely. Uh, so what have we got coming in? Yeah. So just waiting, guys. This is the patience part. This is what some of you struggle with. Anna likes the DAX. The DAX has got crystal clear space. Look at this bad boy. We get if we get below this level, we've got all this clear space to run into. So we'll have some of that. But at the same point, we may not close below. Let's see what. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just getting my open calc lines on the charts for. All right, 15 minutes. Let's see. What broker do you use? The DAX spreads are too big on mine. Red B. What are your spreads? And what account are you on? Because it could be dependent on the account that you're using. Um, so for example, if you're just on like a standard account, the spreads will be bigger. Uh, so on a it is just under a pip, like 0.7. Okay, so we're breaking on the DAX, not the DAX gold. So let's see what happens. Got 5 minutes to wait. If it goes, it goes. I'm not gonna get impatient. We've got to think about our goals, guys. Badass, nope, badness 876. Good afternoon. Christ, I can't say that one. The Fasivera. Buy. I'm looking for buys if we get a close above, but we have to close above. If we don't close above, I do nothing. R3DB. Which broker are you with? Discipline is impeccable. It's the only way, right? It's the only way. Like I said, ask yourself the question. This is the 15-minute. Ask yourself the question. What are your goals? If I take this trade now, is it going to take me one step closer to my goal or one step further away? Vantage standard. Okay, yeah. So who set you up with that? Just out of curiosity. The amount of times I see them, everyone wants to get set up with them on the basis that it's usually a lot of signal providers. And is that how you got set up with it? R3DB? Did you go through an educator and get so many months for free or something by doing that? Yeah, are you day trading R3DB? If you are, then a standard account is no good for you. Remember, if you're day trading, what you need really tight spreads. That means don't hold positions overnight because with a standard account, your spreads are bigger. And let's say you're going for 10 pips and you've got a 4 or 5 pip spread on a market. That means you need to do 15 pips to take profit. I'd much rather have 11 pips to hit profit and pay a commission on terms of the amount of lots. So for example, most brokers will charge you, if you're on a pro account, an ECN account, a raw account, whatever they want to call it, they will charge you a commission per trade. So your spread is much tighter. But then what they'll do is they'll charge you anything from $5 to $10 per lot traded. So if you're trading at one lot, you're going to get charged $10 by the time you close that trade. They call it 5 in, 5 out. If you're getting charged $5, you're paying 2.5 in, 2.5 out. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we could be closing above. And if we are, well, the DAX is failing us. So it looks like we're going to be on the gold trades, guys. So the next part of my rules. Right, I'm going to tell you let's pull them up so you can see. The breakout. I need a wick down. Oh, what's going on? I just lost. Sorry, guys, I just lost breakout long. There we go. So there you go. There's the rules. That's what we're looking for. What we've got. 30 seconds. I'll just make them a bit bigger. Uh, while we're waiting for the next candle to wick down. 15 seconds. So the high of this candle is 88.91. Yeah, it's still 91. So let's see if we get a wick down. Doesn't wick down, I'm not buying it. Needs to wick down, guys. If it doesn't wick down, I'm not buying it. I'll explain why in a moment. Yeah, it will. I'm not buying it yet, guys. I'm not buying it yet. I need to see this candle move lower. If it doesn't move lower, I'm not buying it. Okay, starting to move. If it moves a bit lower, my buy stop is going in. Okay, buy stop is in. Let me just put my partial take profits in. Okay, partial take profit is in. No extended take profit. Right, 1 second, guys. YouTube, I'm gonna flip you onto. There you go. Let me see. Display capture. TikTok, bear with me. I'll just put you. I'm not. It's a pending order. It's a buy stop. Okay. Um, I'm gonna change screens in a second on TikTok. I just struggle with TikTok for some reason. It always takes too long. It, here we go. There you go. So buy stop is above the high of the current candle. Stop loss is down here. I can bring that up a bit. It doesn't really need to be anywhere right now because as soon as I get triggered, if I do get triggered, it will go underneath the low of this bearish candle. So first take profit oh, is 12. Oh, put it in at 12 pips. It should be 10 pips, and half will come off. Extended target is all the way up here, so we're talking 60 pips. So 10 pips for take profit. Now, as it goes, I will scale out as well, but I always like to get my first take profit off after 10 pips, and stop loss will go to break even. Now, if price triggers us now, I'll move my stop loss underneath the low of this candle. So I reduce risk massively. Okay. But if it keeps dropping down, then we're not triggered. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so you can see exactly what I'm doing now, guys. There's nothing. There's no hidden agendas. I've told you what I'm doing. I showed you my. Have I bought? No, I've got a pending order, guys. So a pending order in this instance is what we call a buy stop. It's a buy stop because we want the market to push up and go through my order, which means we're buying with momentum. So think of this analysis, right? That right now the market's going lower. If I'd have just bought as it broke the highs, I'd have been stuck in a trade and now I'd be in a losing position. Why I've wanted it to come back is because I look at it like a bow and arrow. If you pull the bow back, then you let go, the arrow projects forwards. So in trading, as price comes down, I'm looking for it to attract buyers. And if it doesn't attract buyers, then guess what? The price keeps going lower. But if it does attract buyers, then it reverses, it pushes higher, and it'll go through our entry and hopefully take us to our take profit. Does that make sense, guys? If it makes sense, just let me know in the chat or just drop a few whatevers. Yeah? Okay. Amazing. EA Porsche, crystal clear. Now, love the way you explain it. Thank you. Listen, I'm a simple guy, so I have to keep things nice and simple. And as I say to my members, the easiest way to make yourself consistent with trading is by keeping things simple. If you make things complicated, then guess what? It's going to be difficult. And if it's difficult, you can't be consistent. You want to be consistent at trading, keep it simple. Do we long gold? Um, what is my RR in this right now? Well, 10 pips will be probably 0.25. 60 pips would be about 1.25, 1.3. Combine it together, it'll probably work about 0.75. Now, obviously, okay, DAX. Let's have a look. DAX alert's just gone off. No, we'll come back. I put my alert a little bit higher, so I thought it had broken. It hasn't. We've got, how long we got? 10 minutes. Hi, are you at a sell? No, I've got a pending buy order, above the high of the current 15-minute candle. Okay, it's a pending buy order. So that means it's a buy stop. Going back down, I'm telling you. Okay, cool. Goes back down, makes no difference to me. OJ, don't put your house on it, mate. Remember, the things we say and the things we talk about, we have to think about the language we use. Did I tell you it's going up? Did I say I know it's going up? No, none of us know anything. But I have a process in place that tells me if I do X, Y, and Z, I know that over a period of time I will get X, Y, and Z. What happens is in trading, people become overconfident and they will start using language like, I know this is where it's going, or this is what's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know. Okay? You an Aussie creator, Anabolic Awakening. I like your name. Do I, when you say am I an Aussie creator, do I make content for Aussie brokers or am I from Australia? I mean, are you from Australia? Nah, I'm from England, mate. I'm from England. I'm from the north of England. Live in London, but north of England. Buy stop at what price? 33, 32.89.2. I have a buy stop in place. But yeah, I do creation for some Aussie brokers. Educational content. So that's what I thought you were referring to. Right. If this candle closes back below, I'm killing the order. Yeah, 35 pips. Okay, we'll see how it closes. Okay, the DAX is going to set up for us, I think. So I'm going to cancel this. Okay, I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to wait for the DAX because I prefer the DAX chart. So let's just see what happens. I'll show you the DAX chart so you can see what I'm referring to. So orders been deleted on gold. Right. If this one stays below here, do you think gold is going to buy? Um, Not if it closes. I mean, look, my rules will say if it closes back below that level, I cancel the order. And I'm just looking at the DAX, and the DAX is closing below the level potentially. So I would much rather trade the DAX. Yeah. So I can't think about the situation at hand. I just have to go based on my rules. Because if I start thinking, then I question what my rules say. Anyone knows if XNES allows trading on that on the DEX? Or I have no idea. What do I search to find DAX? It could be German 30, it could be German 40. Look at it. It's playing with us. Go on. I need you to close below here, guys. I'm liking this DAX market. Yeah, well, I like it more if it closes below. What would you recommend as a good starter platform? Are you already trading, or have you never traded before? Okay. DAX is clean short if it retraces a little bit higher, otherwise it's a nice scalp here. Here, I'm liking the DAX. DAX is my favorite chart at the minute, so I just need to wait. Okay, so okay, IG has a lot of markets. They're probably the biggest in the UK. You can spread bet with them, but I prefer other places. When is the right time to sell? When your rules are met. For me, I'll show you exactly what my rules are right now for this trade. Breakout, short, boom. Let's do it again. Breakout, short. There you go. So now you can see what I'm looking for. Ah, don't do that to me, you 3 minutes. How? What did that just drop then? Oh, not too much. A little bigger. So literally, I'm just gonna sell the low of this candle. Is this gold? No, this is the DAX. What asset is this? It's the DAX, the German 30 or the German 40 or the DAX. They're all the same, just different names. It used to be the German 30 many years ago, but now it's the German 40. Um, so again, same principles. We just wait. Then we wait for the bow and arrow. And here she blows. Your strategy is safe to trade with less risk. Listen, I say it doesn't matter how experienced or how new you are, you have to trade with little risk when you first start off. 0.01. Um, it's gonna could be a little bit infuriating this, guys. I don't want it to go with how far is it from the it's only 15 points from the support level, so it's not too bad. Right, we've got 1 minute 22 seconds. Um, Everything should be as little risk as possible. You want to have systems in place that allow you to lose as little as possible. But yeah, we could see a nice move from here potentially. We've got plenty of space to run into. 52 seconds. That's what we want. Nice little, give us a wick to work with at least. When is the right time to buy stocks? When they're undervalued, I guess. I don't buy stocks. I just trade what I see based on price action. But if you want to know the right time to buy stocks, I would, I don't know, have a look at Warren Buffett's formula. He seems to be the master of it, buying undervalued stocks. Um, is this gold? No, this is the DAX. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's just have a little pull. Come on. Create a top wick. And there we go. Top wick. Okay, order is in. So order is in, guys. 20 pip first take profit. All right, let's change screens back. Where is it? All right, YouTube, you're back on. TikTok, I'm just gonna take you back now. I'll try to. There we go. Okay, so order is in. Sell stop underneath the bearish 15-minute candle low, which is also the 2 p.m. candle. So let's see what happens. Right, let's see. Right, let's see what it does. Regarding stop loss, looking at price action, I would put stop loss above H1 candle, or would 30-minute be fine? Look, the 15 and the 30 are all gonna have the same. Um, the the market's broken support on the lower time frame. So look, first thing I'd say is if price gets back above this area, we don't really want to be in the trade unless it just comes up, taps these areas and reverses. So I would have my stop just anywhere above this structure right now. I don't envisage it coming too high. Are we selling now? I have placed a sell stop underneath the low of that bearish candle. Okay, um, so I've placed a sell stop. You know what? My mum's hilarious. She literally rings me every time I'm on live stream. Uh, what stock is this? It's not. It's an index. It's called the DAX or the German 30 or the German 40. Wherever you look at it, it has different names on different brokers. Okay, so it's an index of the top 40 stocks in Germany. Let's see gold. I'm not looking at gold. Gold is when if recession hits USA, are you shorting everything? So look, I will trade. It doesn't matter whether look recession, war, whatever's happening. Um, I will trade the same way no matter what. Okay, because if I then start going, let's say, war or recession, let's just short, then okay, it makes logical sense. And I understand your question for asking it R3DB. But what that will do is that'll input a belief system in my trading that it's okay to trade based on, let's say in this instance, it would be fear that the market's going to crash. I will still get setups, right? We're about to get triggered. I will still get setups on the market using my trading rules to be able to sell. So I would use things when the market's crashing, I would use setups like the flip. Can I share the chart more clearly? What do you want me to do? I can't share it more clearly than sharing the chart. If you want to see it more clearly, the best thing you can do is go over to YouTube. Right, let's put auto break even in. Auto break even. I'm just going to put this at 15 pips. There we go. So auto break even's activated. I'm going to bring my stop down a little bit more. So reducing risk. So when this gets to 15 pips up, what we should see, if it gets to 15 pips, yeah, using magic keys. Love it. A lot of my members use Trade Assistant and Dane's Trades, but I quite like magic keys. They all use the same back end. What pair is this? This is the DAX, German 30. So, ah, just have a quick look. What's going on with gold's not really doing anything. It's still sat inside that resistance level we were looking at. Yeah, yeah, I'm in the trade. I'm losing 3 pips at the minute. Yeah. So yeah, I say I am in a trade now. Whether we win, lose, or draw, I've applied my rules, and uh, or Augustus Senior, and it's literally just price action. So what have we seen? We've seen the market break and close below support. The next candle has pushed higher. As it pushes higher, I've sold underneath the lows. Why did I wait for the market to push higher? I just use an analogy like a bow and arrow. If you want the market to go forward, you have to think about it attracting buyers. So if you pull the bow back, you let go, it projects the arrow forward. If you, I don't know, an elastic band, you pull it back to let go for it to go forward. If you, um, I don't know, when I was a kid, you got a car, you pulled it backwards, you let go, it projects forward. So that's the rationale behind it. Do you trade break and retest? No, I'll trade a break and then I will look for new resistance to be formed. So if this market came down, do I expect it to retest this area? I don't care where it comes back to. I just wait for new resistance to be formed. AYT mate. Oh shit. Sorry. I'm bad with shorthand, guys. I'm an old man, so forgive me. I don't quite get the shorthand. As silver is undervalued precious metal, would you invest in physical silver? Um, invest in whatever. Look, silver's undervalued. You could say that based on looking at the gold divided by silver chart, but it's undervalued in the base on the basis that people aren't buying it. So, at what point silver doesn't have to go up in value for it not to be undervalued? Gold could depreciate. So just remember that. not always does the market that you want to buy have to go up. This could be the ones that you're not trading could just depreciate, and then the valuations become aligned again. Does that make sense? There's a lot of talk about buying silver at the minute, just on the basis that it hasn't moved like gold. Um, Now, on that basis, like I said, gold could just get devalued, and then uh, the the way that they're valued against each other would just come back in line. What am I trading? I am selling the DAX, which is currently losing. Yeah, we're 13 pips down. So originally the stop loss was up here. I brought it down as the market came up and then broke the lows. So as it broke the lows, that was me bringing my risk right down. Um, would I give the trade a second attempt? Depends what happens here. If this just closes and goes back in the range and closes back up here, then no, I'm not interested in it. Um, what trade you in? I'm selling the DAX. I'm in a losing position in the DAX at the minute. Do you have any swing trading strategies? Yeah, we do those on an evening in the live streams for members. You in any gold positions? No, we did have a buy stop on gold, but we cancelled it. We cancelled it because I preferred, I keep saying we. I cancelled it because I preferred the DAX after it broke support. Scalping. I wouldn't really call it scalping. One trade, not exactly scalping, um, but you could say you could say there's an element of scalping to it in terms of the way that I manage it and reduce risk, but I wouldn't say it was scalping. One to two trades a session, not exactly scalping. What we got? Yes, we is correct because people copy your move. Um, Look, I do I want people to copy? No. What I want people to do is see the thought process and the rationale behind the trade, the selection, the management, and then they can start to develop their own systems. Now, whether that do you teach and can you teach scalping? I don't teach scalping. Um, I just teach price action. Um, when it comes to trading, if you just copy, then what happens if the person that you're copying just stops trading or just disappears? Then you have nothing. You're much better learning the process, and then you go, do you know what? That works, or that doesn't work, or I don't like it. It doesn't resonate with me. If you get to that position, then you can do something with it. But just copying, that's not going to help you. It's not going to be beneficial. It might be beneficially financially. It may not be. Ultimately, you've got to develop a skill set. Skill sets will pay you back. Um, Copying, not necessarily. Because when it starts to go wrong, what do? You panic. Like now, I don't know. This trade could be a losing trade, right? And if it is a losing trade, some of you might move your stop losses. Some of you might do something else. That's not teaching you anything. Um, what we got? ST Calvin, how we doing, guys? Yeah, definitely would love a little bit of aircon in this office right now. Let me know where you guys are logging in from. Where are you registered from? Are you UK? Are you America? Are you Africa? Are you Europe? Where are you logging in from? Uh, I'm gonna hold until it hits my stop loss. Yeah, because that's my rules. Midlands, welcome, Andrew. Yep, I'm not going to change anything based on uh, fear. Germany, how we doing? Welcome, Germany. US, how we doing? Absolutely baking in here. UK is having a bit of a heat wave. Only thing missing for me is the beach and a nice cold beer. But not gonna find many of those in the UK or nice beach anyway. Right. It's a bit slow. It is a bit slow, but we'll see what happens. Uh, you need to get a sandpit, mate. If I rolled in a sandpit right now, it'll stick to me. I'm wet through. Okay, so 215 downrange candle formed. This is 15 minute. So we had the 15-minute candle closed below. The next one pushed higher. Then it broke the lows, triggered us in. We went a few pips in profit. Then it went back up to the highs again, and then it's closed at the opening price. So we'll see what happens. We brought our stops down from up here to just uh, above the old support level that was broken. Now, if this candle pushes lower and breaks this low, I'll move my stop from where it is above the high of this candle. So price will tell me and dictate to me what I'm going to do with my stops and with my trades. Mm. What time frame? This is the 15-minute. So look, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move that line here. So if price should break this line, we're just going to drag our stop loss from here to above the high of this candle. Why do you think we would do that, guys? What's the thought process behind that? Why would we do that, guys? Any ideas? Now it's funny. I'm just laughing because I look at the view count and people that are watching. They see it in a loss. Yeah, Peter, reduce risk. And literally half the followers disappeared. Now, what does that tell me? They disappeared either because they closed the position if they copied, or they panicked, or they thought, oh, it's a losing trade. They've not even sat through to watch the system play out. Okay. And what I can tell you with that is A, impatience, and B, they don't want to learn a skill. Now, again, whether this is a winning trade or a losing trade, you want to be able to understand the thought process behind it so that if you, yeah, exactly, protect capital, reduce risk. So that if you want to go away and you want to trade by price action, you can then start and say, hold on, I know why you did that now. That makes sense. So the thought process is, look, why did we enter? The candle moved higher, then it broke the lows. So here what's happened is we broke the lows, but we formed a downrange candle. A downrange candle means it has a lower high and a lower low to the previous candle. If this candle pushed higher but failed to break the high of this candle and then breaks the low of it, we again have another downrange candle. So what I would do is the likelihood of price, if that was to happen, of breaking its own high is pretty small. So I'd move my stop above the high of that to reduce risk. Okay. So the whole thought process behind why we do something when you read price action is because if it does one thing, it's unlikely to then do another. Yes, you can get outside candles or engulfing candles, but they are the ones that you see the least of. Trade. candles that you see the most of will be downrange and uprange. Okay, we've been on a while today, but I did about the same on gold today at 10:30. Nice. Um, yeah, so you have to think, right, when you're trading, what's your number one goal? What is your number one goal with trading? So right now the DAX is what 196 points down on the day, nearly 1%. It needs to get to 239 points down on the day for 1%. If we can get to 239, we'll have hit T1 and we'll be somewhere down here. 1% is not a massive move for something like the DAX either. But let's have a look. Keeps flirting with our entry price. Yeah, exactly. Number one goal is to protect capital at all times. Protect capital at all times. Second goal. So do you read anything into that doji candle? Um, yeah, it's a downrange candle. It's got a lower high and a lower low to the previous candle. I'd expect price to continue going lower. So yeah, we're just hey Ken Sang, how we doing? Uh, we've got 9 minutes of this candle left. So I'm going to be on live stream a little bit longer than I anticipated. Um, Smarties, did that make sense, by the way, what I just said? What number is your TP? 20 pips. First TP is 20 pips. First break even is 15 pips. And then 23,860 is my extended take profit. Right, it's slow, innit? What's happening elsewhere? Uh, did miss that as well. No, it's the DAX. So the NASDAQ, I'm not exactly keen on at the minute. Um, we need it to do a few things before I'm interested in the NASDAQ. All right, let's see what happens. We've got what, 8 minutes for NYSE open. I think head hurts. We could see gold do daily flip. Yeah. Let me just move that out of the way. Uh, no, look. No, daily had a big wick down overnight, right? So I wouldn't see a daily flip on gold. It between 11 and unless it's just the broker data I'm seeing here on TradingView. Um, is that no? This is the DAX, guys. Uh, I'm in a sell position. I'm 5 pips offside. I'm losing 5 pips at the minute. It's a really slow trade. I don't like it when it's this slow. uh, maybe head hurts. Um, okay, so Smarties, I'll right. Uh, let me just see. Okay, so if I was referring to candles, right? There's only 4 things that the market can do, and this is it. Okay, so if this one was candle one, then there's only 4 things that the market can do. Option one is this one. This is what I call a downrange candle. It has a lower high and a lower low. Oops, and a lower low to candle one. The next is an uprange candle. It can only have a higher high and a higher low, so it's uprange. Okay, all right, let's get ready to bring stops down. There we go. So brought our stop down a little bit. A buy on gold, not for me. I'm not doing anything at the minute. Just focusing on the one trade that I'm in. You're not allowed to move your stop loss. Who? I've brought it down closer. We're selling. So I'm reducing risk. Yeah. So I've reduced risk, not made it bigger. Yeah. So this is a sell trade. I'm looking for it to come down here. And I've brought my stop loss closer to. Okay, so I'm just waiting for it to. Yeah. No buys, no sells on gold. So 2 minutes now for NYSE open. Will it impact the DAX? Who knows? Sorry, so let me come back to what I was saying here, Smarties. So first one is a downrange candle because it has a lower high and a lower low to the previous candle. The next one is an uprange candle, which has a higher high and a higher low to the previous candle. The next one is what people will call an outside candle or an engulfing candle. But can you bring the chart screen bigger into the picture? Like this? Or that? If you want the bigger picture, guys, the best way you can do it is go to YouTube. Okay, so look, we're about 7, 8 pips in profit now. So this is an outside candle or an engulfing candle, meaning it has a higher high and a lower low to the previous candle. And the next one is an inside candle, so it has a lower high and a higher low. The market cannot do anything other than those 4 options. So if I was to say to you, which one do you think you would see more in a downtrend? Do you think you'd see downrange candles, uprange candles, outside, or inside? Which one do you think you would see more in a downtrend? Forget about the open and close. Which one do you think you would see more of in a downtrend? Pleasure, Callum. Yeah, downrange. So if we forget about the open and close here, just on the basis that we've respected the previous candle's high and we've broken the previous candle's low, my main concept here is that I would expect the market to continue to move lower. Obviously, because it opened and closed at the same price, shows that there's no real conviction from the buyers or the sellers, but that's just a small fraction of time in the whole like trend, etc., and what's happened. So on that basis, I would be happy to let the market continue to run its course. Does that make sense, Smarties? All right, we've got 20 seconds. And I've run out of water, I think. Yeah. Right, okay. If we break the low of this candle, you know what we're doing. We bring our stop down. I'll just hit stop loss at entry based on the current price. So it's got to break the low. There we go. Stop loss at entry. So we can't lose now. We can't lose. Okay, we're close to TP1. Now, whatever happens, happens. We can't lose. There you go. We got stopped. Stopped at break even. Now, did that make sense? I don't care what happens now with the chart. I don't care because we're coming into a volatile time. We didn't lose anything, didn't make anything, but the main thing is we didn't lose. So, did you see how I used price action? Yeah, it's US Open, but did that make sense, guys? Just let me know if it made sense on how I utilize the charts, how I utilize price action to manage my risk. Now, whether it goes on and drops lower, I don't care. Whether it goes on and moves higher, I don't care. I applied a set of rules that was um, that basically make sense and produce results. So what you have to do is you have to think about it and say, right, could I apply a simple set of rules like that in order to get consistent? Remember, the objective is not necessarily, yes, you want to make money, but the first thing you have to do is protect capital. If you learn how to protect capital, you can make money. So on that note, guys, that's the end of the live stream. Uh, well done to everyone. You did well. Thanks for staying in there, even though you saw it go offside for a little bit. But there was an option to look for a 30-minute flip here. We got a slightly uh, worse entry down here, but we were already in the market. We can't choose which way it was going to go. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Okay, so if you're back tomorrow, if you're around tomorrow, I'll see you at 1 o'clock. Okay, and there she goes. Does it matter? No. Will we get another opportunity? Maybe. But yeah, that's it. We're done now. I will be back. Members, I'll see you at 6:30, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Everyone else on TikTok and YouTube, I'll see you at 1 p.m. Bye, guys.